Hello everyone, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my plant YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about 5 of the main reasons that you're killing your houseplants and how to save them from looking unwell. The main reason why people kill their plants is because they care too much for the plant. You guys are showing too much love for it, and actually what you end up doing is overwatering the plant. So you might see the plant looking a little bit sad and you're not sure what to do, so you just give it more love by just overwatering. Just add more water and it'll be okay. That could be the worst thing for your plant. So an example here I have of a friend's plant, and she's given it too much love, is you can see new growth there. So new growth is browning. Now, if it's old growth, that's nothing to be worried about really. If it's an old leaf, it's gonna die at some point. Unfortunately, that's life, right? But with newer leaves, browning is definitely an indication of root rot. It's not the only thing though. So she watered this plant 10 days ago and it's still sodden wet, as well as just being super heavy, and it's not drying out. Probably another sign that it has root rot. So when should you water your plant? Well, there's no particular scale on when you water your plant. The obvious thing is when the soil is dry. If you're not sure, I would definitely urge on the side of caution and water the plant when it is bone dry, or when you can visibly see maybe the plant is wilting, which we're going to go over in a minute. Don't worry about certain time frames of when you should water the plant. It completely depends on the plant, the root system, the temperature, the season. So you will have to change that depending on where you are in the world at that time. I water my plants probably about once a month in the winter, but in the summer it probably ends up being about once a week. So first of all is you put your finger in the soil, see if it's dry. If it is about 2 inches down, then you water it. If you're not sure, don't water it until it is dry. So that is number 1, overwatering. Number 2 is underwatering. Life's busy, you can end up forgetting about the plant, and next thing you know, your plant's looking pretty sad like this one. So I actually kept this underwatered for this video, the dedication I give to you guys, I know. So I would recommend with this, just watering the plant, making sure you don't forget about it, maybe putting it in a different place if you keep forgetting about the same plant. For me personally, I like to have my plants all in one room, because if it's in more rooms, I just feel more overwhelmed with it. I don't know, that's just me. But just watering the plant once it gets a little bit sad. Signs of it being underwatered, well, the main sign is the fact that the soil is dry. The other thing is, just could be wilting, going a bit yellow or brown. But yes, watering the plant when it is underwatered will stop it from dying. Number 3 is the soil mixture. So you buy a plant from the garden centre that's been growing in optimum conditions, humidity, temperature, with light. You bring it to your home that might not have optimum conditions. As a result, it might take a little bit longer for the plant to dry out because maybe it's not as warm. But the soil mixture could get quite compressed because it's not chunky enough. So what I do is when I repot them, this is a prime example, is I repot the plant into a chunky soil mixture to reduce the risk of it getting root rot, as well as there might be with certain plants specific soil or specific components of the soil that you need to add. If it's a bonsai, if it's an aroid, if it's a cactus, there'll be certain things that plant will thrive in, and therefore having a look online at seeing what soil mixture that particular plant likes will help you with growing it, and it might even stop you from killing it. Number 4 is pests. Now, I've been to many garden centres in the UK, and looking around the plants, they look absolutely stunning, and you turn the leaf over and it is riddled with pests. So if you were to buy a plant, I would definitely recommend you look underneath around the plant before you buy it and just see if there's any pests on it. If there is, it doesn't mean you have to not buy the plant if you love it. Just take precautions when you end up bringing it home. So how do you know if there's pests? Well, this is a Queen Anthurium that had thrips, and she started to yellow around the sides. She just looked a little bit sad. I did drop her as well. That doesn't help, which is why she doesn't have a leaf. She does look very sad right now. But she had a few thrip larvae on the back. So I just checked the back. Always check it when you're watering, and you'll see some little bugs going around that will tend to sap energy out of the leaf, resulting in it looking a little bit sad. Also, the pests tend to stay on the newer leaves. So checking on new growth is always a good sign of seeing whether there's pests. How to avoid pests? Well, if you when you water the plant, just wash the leaves down as well as using something like neem oil spray to be able to just kill off any pests that are on there or reduce the risk of getting the pests on the plant in the first place. If you love the plant that you've got from the garden centre, for example, and you want to keep it, just maybe isolate that plant, water it down, use insecticide, and then hopefully the amount of pests on that plant just diminishes every week up until the point that it's all clear and it can come out of being isolated. The other thing you can do is going a little bit more extreme is looking at getting predator mites for those pests. So you can identify the pests online of what pest you have. You can end up buying bugs that specifically end up killing that pest, but that's a bit hit and miss. That's number 4, pests. Number 5 is light. Most likely, if you've gone through those 4 things, it doesn't have pests, the soil is fine, the roots seem fine, the plant is probably not getting enough light. So if you can't move the plant to a place of where it's getting enough light, you can look at buying grow lights. It's what I have behind me. It's such an amazing way of giving the plants light if you have somewhere that might be slightly darker, and then hopefully your plant will thrive a lot more. Some honourable mentions as to another reason why you might be killing your plants is that there might not be the right conditions in regards to humidity. Now this is a rare occasion, but it definitely is with smaller plants that are more fragile, that they might need more humidity or even less humidity, depending on what plant it is, which you can find online as to what percentage of humidity that particular plant likes. Now with my smaller and more fragile plants, I have them in a cabinet sitting at around 70% humidity. This allows them to grow in optimum conditions, and then when they get bigger, like this Anthurium right here, I can then take them out. It is more robust and therefore will survive in your house or apartment condition. The other honourable mention is the idea that actually some plants just don't like your house. I hate to say it, but maybe they just don't like you. So you can just give up with that particular plant and go, you know what, I'm no good with that plant. Or you can do what I do and just buy a bigger version of it. And that way it is a bit more robust. It's still a risk and you might still kill it. And then you probably should give up. But in most cases, because the plant is just bigger and has a better root system, a lot of the time it can just survive in harsher conditions. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want more videos like this, and give us a comment of reasons how you killed your plant or even you saved it.